That's good. So welcome to fourth meeting of INTOC Global. Last week we were together, and right now, after this week, we are together again with the Global Brainstorm. Let's move to our first participant of the Global Brainstorm, the team of Nepal. They will talk about the effect of the artificial intelligence on human evolution. So it's very important, if you ask me. So could you give me a sign who will do the presentation? Thank you very much.
Yeah, hello. Good evening, everyone. This is Akash. So my student will be giving presentation, and three students are present here, Jagriti, student, and Vivek. And Jagriti will be sharing her screen. So yeah, Jagriti, you can continue
Yes.
with the signal of Mr. Alper.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I just made you a co-host. You can share your screen if you want. Stage is yours. Thank you.
Am I audible? Hello?
Yes.
Hello? Okay.
Please go on, Vivek.
Hello everyone and namaste. We are presenting Team Nepal on intelligence on human being. I am Vivek Gautam and my team, Dr. Akash Dev, Jagdi Sivastava, and Sudan Thapa. Moving on, Stephen quoted, "Success in creating AI would be the biggest event in human history. Unfortunately, it might also be the last, unless we learn how to avoid the risks." Let's know about the risks and effects of AI in human life. Before that, these are the topics that we will be covering today. From deep learning to natural language processing, we interact with AI in one way or another in a daily basis, sometimes without realizing we are doing it. To avoid confusion, we have to go back to the earliest and purest definition of AI. From the time when it was first quoted, the official idea and definition of AI was first quoted by John in 1955 at Dartmouth Conference. This conference, attended by 10 computer scientists, lasted for 8 weeks. He proposed science and engineering of making intelligent machines, especially intelligent computer programming. Translation: in a sense, AI is a machine with the ability to solve problems that are usually done by us humans with our natural intelligence. A computer would demonstrate a form of intelligence when it learned how to improve itself at solving these problems. To explain further, at 1955, proposal defined 7 aspects of AI, and these are those 7 aspects. Intelligence was used on the definition. So what is the intelligence? Well, according to the Jack Coland, who has written several books on AI, some of the most important factors of intelligence are generalization learning. That is learning that enables the learner to be able to perform better in situations not previously encountered. Reasoning, to reason, to draw conclusion appropriate to the situation in hand. Problem solving, giving such and such data, find X. Perception, analyzing and scanning environment and relationship between objects. Self-driving car are an example. Language understanding, understanding language by following syntax and other rules, similar to humans. Now we have an understanding of AI and intelligence. In the recent past, AI is helping banks make loans. Dr. Daniel's patients is on our cell phone. Auto-completing text is the algorithm recommending YouTube video to watch.
Moving on to healthcare. Healthcare is always the most sensitive case among human beings, and AI has done tremendous work regarding healthcare. AI has simplified the lives of patients, doctors, and hospital administrators by performing tasks that are typically done by humans. Healthcare is always regarded as the world's highest growth rate industries. The AI sector was valued at about almost $600 million in 2014 and is projected to reach $150 billion in upcoming years. Moving on to neuroscience, the most complex mechanism, AI has helped in the field too. AI working as a model for developing and testing ideas about how the brain performs computation and as a tool for processing the complex data sets that researchers are producing. Moving on to AI and COVID-19. Till now, we have seen 7 significant applications of AI for COVID-19 pandemic. This technology plays an important role to detect the cluster of cases and to predict the important role by collecting and analyzing all previous data. Healthcare organizations are in urgent need of for decision-making technologies to handle the virus, helping them in getting proper suggestion in real time to avoid its spread. It also play a vital role in the understanding and suggesting the development of vaccine of COVID-19. The main application of AI in COVID-19 pandemic are early detection and diagnosis of the infection, monitoring the treatment, contact tracing, projection of cases and mortality, development of drugs and vaccines, and reducing the workload of healthcare workers. It can significantly improve treatment consistency, decision making by developing useful algorithms. It can also help in developing proper treatment reasons, prevention strategies, drugs, and vaccine development. Moving on to daily lives that AI helps, AI assists in every area of our lives. Whether we are trying to read our email or get driving directions, AI is used day-to-day. AI is used in day-to-day activities such as email communications, for example, email filter in Gmail, smart replies in Gmail, reminders in Gmail. In social media, Google predictive searches and web searching, AI are used. Moving on to cybercrime. Cybercrime is the AI most growing threat till now. Cybersecurity incident expected to rise nearly by 70% and cost 5 trillion in upcoming years. And these days, the use of AI is becoming increasingly commonplace. Companies and government use facial recognition technology to verify our identities. Virtually every smartphone on the market has mapping and translation app. And machine learning is an indispensable tool in diverse fields, including conservation, healthcare, and agriculture. Moving on to AI terrorism. Similarly, there may be a new AI-enabled form of terrorism to deal with, from the expansion of autonomous drone and the introduction of robotic swans to remote attacks or delivery of disease through nanorobots. Crime rates increase day by day, but the rate of uncovering crime due to AI has increased. No one can stop crime, but we can aware and assure people for catching the criminals with AI. By using AI, companies can identify area of potential crimes such as fraud, money laundering, or terrorist financing. Moving on to AI terrorism again, our law enforcement and defense organization will need to adjust to potential threat this present. It will take time to extensive human reasoning to determine the best way to prepare for a future with even more AI application to ensure that even though there is potential for adverse impacts with its further adoption, it is minimized as much as possible. Moving on to AI bias, since AI algorithms are built by humans, they can have built-in bias by those who either intentionally or intentionally introduce them into the algorithm. If AI algorithms are built with a bias, the data in the training set will also be biased, and they are given to learn from biased, so they will produce the results that are biased too. This reality led to unintended consequences like the ones we have seen in Microsoft chatbot Tay via Twitter that became racist in 2016. As a company build AI algorithm, they need to be developed and trained responsibly. Let's move to no job. This no jobs is now becoming myth of AI. Let's be honest, technology has created more jobs than it has caused the loss of job for some people. Undoubtedly, AI will transform the workplace. AI will take over our job. And in some industry, many tasks are being handled by machines. In fact, our study suggests that AI will take over 1.8 million jobs, but will create 2.3 million new ones. AI will replace unskilled and manual workers. This is also another myth brought by the thought of AI is replacing human labor. While many jobs will be created by AI, many people predict a net increase in jobs, at least anticipate the same amount will be created to replace the ones that are lost, thanks to AI technology.
Talking about education, if you are not educated, then you can't grow. The academic world is becoming more convenient and personalized thanks to the numerous application of AI for education. The transformation brought by AI in education is many more, but we can count some most important: simplifying administrative tasks, smart content, personalized and global learning in an efficient way. The tools and AI advancement in academics can be seen by the latest tool developed like Little Dragon. It is the first tutoring app that follows and responds to the students' ever-changing emotional state, the space learning for mathematical programs. And talking about business, according to International Data Corporation, AI has a strong 12.3% growth in 2020. With the data of 2017 to 2020, world's top AI services companies like IBM, Accenture, Infosys has increased by 10.3 on 2020. And business depends on the amount of data, and it will be double every 12 hours, suggesting that humanity will be either twice as smart or half as smart between the times we wake up and go to sleep. The data must be gathered, cleaned, analyzed, and reports are calculated, and this is a tedious task, but AI has made this simple, using its tools to maintain the data, and they are taking over the spreadsheet and consultants. There are multiple tools to process the data, which has made task the more easier and processing in an efficient way. And we have entertainment industry. Every year the entertainment industry is blooming and AI has provided its input. Many professionals like in the fields of filmmaking, advertising, game development, and a variety of entertainment services accept on AI, unleashing an entirely new approach to AI creativity. AI technology can be used in media and entertainment industry in multiple ways, like user experience and personalization, media and advertising, extensive uses of VR and AR, search optimization, and like for example, Netflix. This year, Netflix has partnered with Nantes University in France and University of Southern California in USA to create a new machine learning method called Dynamic Optimizer that ensures a smooth and high quality streaming experience for its users, especially in India and Japan. And we have world market. The global artificial intelligence AI market size was valued at USD 27.23 billion into 2019 and is projected to reach USD 266.92 billion by 2027, exhibiting a CAGR of 33.2 during the forecast period. And in case of call center industry, in 2018, the call center artificial intelligence market was generated a generated a revenue of 4.5 million, and it is expected to attain 990.1 million by 2024, growing at a 22.6 CAGR in percentage CAGR during the forecast period of 2019 and 2024. And according to Colin Angle, it's going to be, we know, according to Colin Angle, it's going to be interesting to see how society deals with artificial intelligence, but it will be definitely be cool. So there are adverse elements that can alter the effects of AI. Henceforth, it is important to have ingrained structure of positive characteristics and protection, and also against bad information. AI must be shaped towards requirements of human race, and AI has already pretty huge impact on all of our lives. So people understandably have some polarized feelings about it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for this great presentation for the Nepal team. Firstly, Mr. Akash Deo, congratulate for this presentation. It was great.
Thank you very much. And also thank you to invite us and give us opportunity to present our organization and our country, our students to present in this platform. Thank you very much.
it will not end. It's just the beginning, right?
Yeah, it's just the beginning.
Don't leave the session, because after the end of this global brainstorming session, we got to question and answer. So maybe some of our viewers want to ask some questions to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's keep it on, and let's move to the second team from Turkey, and they will be present the effect on the social and educational life of GPT-3. So Mrs. Kaya here. Hello, Mrs. Kaya.
Hello. Hi. Can I start screen sharing?
Yeah, I'm making you right now.
Okay.
Okay, you are the co-host right now. You may start your presentation. We are listening to you.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so starting on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So we have divided our topic into 3 columns. The first one is how can we use it in education? And the second one is how will it affect our social life? And the third one is our accessibility. And I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Daya.
My name is Renas Çelik, so I'm going to talk about what is GPT-3 and its brief history. GPT-3 comes from a company called OpenAI, which was founded by Elon Musk and Sam Altman. They invested over $1 billion in OpenAI to advance the state of AI and make sure that AI was being used for the betterment of mankind.
Hello everyone, my name is Umut. I am introduced social life. The first example is an application called Figma. The developer has built a plugin that allows user to enter a description of what they want for an application. In this example, a user is describing an application with a feed, some icons and user interface. When he hits submit, Figma actually generates an app that looks very much like Instagram. It has all of the button, all the UI in scrolling feed.
Right, so we have a video with a few more examples in it.
The next example is a coding example. And so this is dbuild.co, and they're describing an application that is a basic to-do list application. And so what the software is doing is it's generating a React application, all of the functions and procedures, all of the things that are necessary to create a React component to handle to-do. And you can see it works. You can add items to the to-do list. There's all the events and triggers for handling the interactions of the application, and it's all generated on the fly by artificial intelligence. Just amazing what we're able to do with AI, both the design and development aspects. The next example is in Excel. And so we have a table with headers of company, ticker, and year founded. And we ask OpenAI to complete the table, and it's able to fill in the entire table with the data that it thinks we want. Again, it's pulling this information from its corpus of artificial intelligence, and it's trying to be predictive in terms of what it thinks we want in the table. If we don't agree, or we want to train it a little bit differently, we can queue it with different elements that start in the table. So here I actually want the table to be filled in starting from the newest to the oldest. And so I put Twitter and Facebook and then ask it to predict the table. And it's able to understand what I'm trying to do, and again goes top to bottom all the way in, filling in the year founded information with all the company information.
All right, so in the first example of the video was about coding, and also about the second one was also about Excel-based example. So the second one we'd be able to use it in a workplace. Those were very basic examples, but the main idea is GPT-3 can do coding, and it can work on Excel just like an engineer would do. So.
Hello everyone, I'm Ulash. This example is finding things within Wikipedia. If you've ever seen a long article that you can't really understand or find the information that you need, You can simply have a plugin where you ask it the exact question that you want. So let's say I'm asking why bread is fluffy. It's searching the data and information in that article, generating an answer to my question, giving me a station and location that I can jump to. So really summarizing the data making, it's really easy for me to find exactly what I want from large volumes of text and the information that are presented.
Because of the vast amounts of information within GPT-3, you can really ask it anything. In fact, you can almost use it like a search engine, where you ask it a question, it can give you one result, giving you the station of exactly where to find that answer. Nowadays, big companies like Facebook, Apple, Amazon have thousands of engineers working on this problem, and we are able to solve this problem almost instantly with GPT-3.
Now, learning new languages. One of the common applications of GPT-3 is translation. We can give an example of an English sentence that we ask it to translate into French. We can also use GPT-3 to translate things that are written in legalese. Now, legalese is things that are written in legal languages. Now, let me give you an example, such as an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. And we can ask GPT-3 to translate that non-disclosure agreement into something that a second grader would understand. Now, this is innovative in a way because a simple like Google Translate app could not do this. So in front of you, you see the papers from OpenAI's website. It's called Language Models for Few-Shot Learners. Now, the idea behind this technology is that it can use the models and the text to train things on. Now, the first picture in the first column you see is zero-shot models. And it goes on as zero-shot, one-shot, and few-shot models. And so the example of a zero-shot might be to translate English to French, and you give it a prompt like the word cheese, and then it translates that word. As the model is being fine-tuned, it gets better and better at zero-shot. The more examples of text you give it, the better it can get. So here's an example of one shot where you give it one example. And here's an example of few shot models where you give it a couple more examples of what you're looking for. You can see it in the first column, in the second and third pictures. And it's able to do the translation for you. As you train more, the artificial intelligence is able to predict what you're looking for in terms of an answer, in terms of more and more models. As you train the model for more and more days, the software starts to converge on what the answers are. And so this is the petaflow of days as it's converging. And this is an exciting innovation because it is a very new and kind of exciting way of learning new languages, I guess.
Accessibility. This machine learning model is very powerful and impressive. If you want access to it, you can go to OpenAI's website, fill out the form explaining why do you want to try it out. Because the model is actually still in private beta. Don't let this definition scare you. It requires minimal fine-tuning, meaning it's adaptive enough to perform text rendering quality requires and more with the minimal user adjustment. If you wanna use the GPT-3, you must learn what it can do. This thing is really groundbreaking and it's about the publicly accessible for anyone to use. What was only science fiction a few years ago can now be used by college students in their dorm room and everyone else.
Now, to round things up, we have presenting to you an example-based presentation, basically, because it is such a new technology. And we have given examples from Figma and its plugins and explained its effects on our social life and how we can very easily create base level of a very popular social media platforms such as Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, you name it. And we've also given examples concerning Wikipedia and with GPT-3 how we can use it more efficiently and explained how it can affect our learning new languages and translating new languages. And before ending our presentation, we want to give a few more sentences, talk a few more things to you with alongside with this video.
There is one thing that I want you to take away from this besides the fact that machine learning and AI has gotten super advanced. We generally have thought that human beings are so creative. Only a generic AI, a super advanced machine learning algorithm, can truly replace human work. But the unfortunate reality is, despite the fact, GPT-3 is not an extremely complicated machine learning model. The output it creates is truly impressive. It makes us realize that 90% of the work we do is pretty fundamental and is quite repetitive.
Right, the mails that we write, the marketing copies that we create, the blog posts that we write, it's all kind of just a bunch of remixes of stuff that has already been created and already exists on the internet. And the takeaway that I want you to have out of this is that you should truly try to spend out your time being creative and pushing your mind to do something new, innovative, and to try to think about how you can hone in your skills in such a way that GPT-3 or any other advanced machine learning model that I'm sure is coming out soon and will keep getting better and keep coming out is not going to replace what you do overall. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you for all your attention, and we can't wait to listen to all the other presentations as well. Yep, that will be all from us.
Okay, thank you very much for this great presentation, guys. So thank you very much again. So it was brilliant. So let's move to the Indonesia team right now. Indonesia team will talk about comparison with the human intelligence between AI and the ordinary human intelligence. So are you ready, guys?
Yes. Yes.
Ladies, are you ready? So I'm making co-host and you can continue your presentation and you can share your screen, okay?
Okay. Wait.
Then good luck.
Ulang.
Okay, you are the co-host right now.
Right.
Stage is yours.
Okay. Ayun kita. Bisa. Hello everyone, my name is Kiara Meliarindi and my friends is Rabaniana Sabut Maina. We are the representative from Indonesia and we will present our presentation about the generative pre-trained transformer 3, or we can call it about GPT-3. Okay, first, what is GPT-3? GPT itself is stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer, a language model which can generate word knowledge. GPT-3 is the third iteration of this prediction model in the GPT-N series created by OpenAI. So it's basically a language predictor. For example, you feed some context and GPT-3 can guess what will come next. So what is the advantages of GPT-3 model are? The advantages of the GPT-3 model, if we compare to the GPT-2, are the sheer size of the model, which GPT-3 has 175 billion parameters and GPT-2 only has GPT-3 which has 175 billion parameters and GPT-2 only had 1.5 billion parameters, which was already considered massive when it was released. GPT-3 has effectively ingested most of what humans have published online, all the text available on the internet to generate a statistically plausible response based on the text input it received. Let's talk about the first point. First of all, is the effect on the future humanity. GPT-3 has many means that can influence future life, one which is the view of the future of productivity. In this point of view, there were several examples. Okay, first, for the creativity companion, GPT-3 can help them to get articles that them have published in the past or before. And for the smarter secretary, it's easier to manage files or documents that they come from email. And then for smarter students, if you need some things like knowledge or something else, then GPT-3 will help or make it easier for you by using a language predictor. With just a few clicks, you will be able to find out a lot of information that you need. And for translation tools, there is already Google Translate, yes, but for certain things, it requests for more specific information, for examples about engineering, health information, and others, which is presented is a language that is easier to understand. Next, and when we are making something new, there must be a benefit and a risk. So let's talk about the benefits first. GPT-3 has effectively encased most of what humans have published online. Second of all, this AI also learned how to generate properly formatted plots from small prompts written in plain English. And this AI can understand what kind of data we have in the spreadsheet and fill in the missing piece correctly. The second one is the risk. First of all, GPT-3 can change human habits in depending knowledge. Second, people will be lazier, and GPT-3 can change the world of coding, especially in software development, because the GPT-3 itself can read the code, which make it easy to make its own software. Okay, now I will tell you about the comparison with humanity intelligence. Okay, humanity intelligence itself is mental quality that consists of the abilities to learn from experience, adapt to new situation, understand and handles abstract context, and use knowledge to manipulation one's of environmental. Okay, first, GPT-3 has a significantly bigger brain or parameters than the predecessor NLP models. GPT-3 use tools, for example, transverse learning and fine-tuning. GPT-3 accomplishes other NLP tasks or make tools for which it was not trained. And GPT-3 returns most of the GPT-2 architecture, analogies to Homo habilis species. GPT-3 returns some ape-like features. And because of text and the text above as compared to the human. Let's take some example. First of all, GPT-3 as a secretary. If human as a secretary, they need time to collecting a data and writing the data out. But GPT-3, because they are using a language predictor, they didn't have to take a little time. They didn't have to take longer time to collecting data and write the data out. And for the second example is human as a smart student and GPT as a smart student. If you need something like knowledge or something else, we need time to collecting references and to understand the subject. But GPT-3, because we talked about it in earlier, GPT-3 are already in the internet, so they can read the language prediction. So GPT-3 didn't need much longer time to understand some knowledge or article to help us understand this subject. Okay, the fourth part is ethical dimension. If it is used properly, GPT-3 will be really helpful. But GPT-3 can also be useful, because GPT-3 can take over certain programs that should be carried out by humans, but this GPT-3 can take over, like sending file from email to many people at the same time in unlimited time. because it's different from humans who need eat, sleep, rest, and others. Whereas GPT-3 does not need that, so it can still work continuously by sending file in the form of spam. The effect on social and education life. Let's talk about the social first. First of all, it's easier to access technology development in this era. And the second of all is faster to public access to find out the latest news. And the last one is easy to gain access to the latest scientific development of the current era. And for the education life, it's easy to access the deep learning technology. Second of all is make it easy for the world of research to access references and material in the research like we saw before. And the last one is make it easy to access to find out the latest scientific development in the current era. Thank you for your attention, everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Indonesia team. That was great presentation. And now we are moving to the Malaysian team. They will talk about the benefits and risks about the using of the GPT-3s. So there will be, I'm sorry about it, Uganesh Kumaran and Rubini will be the presentators, right? Are you there, guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, can you hear me? Could you please drop a sign to chat for me? Okay. Okay, I just made you co-host and you may start your presentation and you can share your screen. Thank you very much. You may start. Stage is yours. Şu an çıktık. Başka bir yerden bize girildiği için çıktık biz. Nasıl? Vallahi gel bak. You have been seen out because your account signed. Ama başka bir şeyden, aletten girildiği için bizi dışarı attı. Kim yazıyor? Çağlar Hoca. Okay. Dear Malaysia team, we can't hear you right now. We can't hear you. Probably you forget.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you probably forget to put on your microphone on. Your mic is open now. Can you restart again?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we are from the Malaysian team, so I was gonna start with the introduction. So GPT-3, in order for us to understand what GPT-3 is, I'm gonna start with what is AI. So there's two types of AI. AI is some kind of machine that which is almost as intelligent as a human. So there's two types of AIs. One is artificial narrow intelligence, or also known as weak AI. So it's single task oriented, which means if you give it one particular task and it can complete it, it's called a weak AI. So examples of weak AI, it's actually Siri and Alexa, which we consider as something huge, but it's still a weak AI. So next would be artificial general AI or strong AI. So strong AI is actually self-aware and sentient, as in it has emotion, it has feelings, it is something that you can treat like a human, as in, let's say there's a child, and if the child, you just have to teach the child how to feed the child and then teach them basics, and they'll happen to learn more things on their own. So until a machine is able to do so, we can't exactly call it a strong AI. So, okay, examples of a strong AI is iRobot, Chappy, you can have emotions, they are self-aware, they have consciousness and stuff. Okay, so now moving on. Sorry. Sorry, okay, let me share my screen again. Okay, so move on to the examples of GPT-3 technology. So that's the designing one. There were a few teams that has already explained the examples of what GPT technology can do. So you can just key in anything in natural language, which means whatever I speak, like you understand what I'm trying to say. So anything that is understandable for anyone, you just type it in and GPT-3 will convert it into something that you need. You can develop applications, any websites. Basically, GPT-3 is smart on its own to be able to do so. And then it can also convert legal document into simple English. It can translate legal documents to simple English, as in, for example, like legal clause. If you were to someone a legal clause, most of us would not understand what it is. So GPT-3 has the ability to do so. And then there's content creation. So when it comes to advertising and emails, and then okay, so I'll continue from this slide. It was connection error, I'm sorry. Okay, so going back to content creation. So in order for you to create content that's engaging to customers and audience, you need something that would catch their attention. So GPT-3 can do that as well. So moving on, the benefits of GPT-3. The main benefit of GPT-3 would be employment shift. As in, for now, we have like a boss, and then we have the staff and workers. So employment shift, as in there can be more entrepreneurs, there can be more creators, instead of everyone just there won't be a segregation. And then what else employment shift, because of this employment shift, what other benefits we can get would be increased productivity and wealth, because when you're more productive and you can get more things done, it would increase your wealth as well. Instead of focusing on solving one particular problem, if GPT-3 can help you solve that problem, you can focus on creating more things. You can actually expand your creativity. So having GPT-3, it actually helps you hone your creativity in a way where it can actually make the world a better place. And then it can process natural language into anything at all. So you can process into codes, musical notation, SQL database, any financial statement. You don't have to be an accountant, you don't have to learn coding. It does everything for you. So you just have to have an idea. And then you don't have to do repetitive tasks. So GPT-3 can handle that. So I think overall, you just have to focus on creating more opportunities instead of focusing on getting a task done, because the GPT-3 can finish the task for you. And other examples are in literature components, like you can even simulate and like poems or artists from those days. Like you can even read plays in Shakespeare voice and stuff. So that would actually help students get a better idea on how those plays were made. They are like on those days, instead of, we can try simulating them now, but then if you think about it, what if they get a better idea from their own voice itself? So that's about it for benefits. I am gonna share, pass it on to my partner, Kumaran. So that's it from me.
Hello. 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 Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
All right. Okay. Good day, everyone. My name is Yuganesh Kumaran. I'm from Malaysia. I'm representing Dr. Devi, behalf of Dr. Devi. So I was given the task on speaking on with my teammates as well, speaking about the benefits and also the risk of having GT3, which is the latest developed intelligence in the market right now. Okay, so I would like to open my presentation, and I'm not a host. So can you make me a host? Anyone? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Can you hear me? I can't take your voice very well. I can't hear your voice very well.
Oh, please make me as the host because I need to share my.
Of course.
Yeah.
I just made it. You can. Okay, you may continue.
Okay, so introduction to artificial intelligence. From the point of From my point of view, I feel that human science and intelligence are being combined, and scientists and researchers, they are trying to they believe that uh, in a certain period of time in the future, uh, machine can match the intelligence of our human brain today. Okay, so as long just now our friends have shared about the introduction, so I'll be moving forward. So AI, artificial intelligence in language. Okay. So we'll be having artificial intelligence. The reception that I'm going to talk on is based on the NLP, natural language processing, and also natural language generation. Okay. So there are three type of the latest one, which is very famous out there in the market, is Microsoft GPT-2, and the latest one is GPT-3. Okay, so moving forward, what is GPT-3? Okay, you can read it out there. It's an auto interactive language module, blah blah blah. It's okay. And machine learning toolset, that is the main key over here. So the machine learning toolset, it consists of uh, language. You can the examples I'm giving right now, the language, the visual recognition, a lot of things you can be done. Okay, you don't need we human we not need any reminder or any kind of uh, instruments or tools, or as a key of, like, you want to store something or anything that you wanted to keep, so you want to record, so it's GPT can do that as well. Okay, to my topic for today. So risk in GPT-3 and artificial intelligence. First, I would like to read out all my points. One is the GPT-3 system can misinterpret the meanings and the sentence that we would like to apply. Sufficiency of intelligence. Okay, I'll just give me a minute. I'll talk about it later on. Lack of independence, which is like people will be relying on machines, and they won't be using their brains. Sorry to be harsh. They will depend on the computer, and as well as because everything that you are depending on computer, you can be misguided. Like you can fall into a trap, or you following a fake news, or any kind of uh, not what is it not a perfect information. Okay, because handling GPT-3, everyone, those who are very good in technology, or those who are good in IT, they can people can misguide it. So I would like to say about the effects on, I mean, the effects that causes about this GT3 GPT-3. Okay, the artificial intelligence that has been brought in back in May. I think it's on May. It was launched in May. So global catastrophic risk, which is example cyber terrorism, biowar, global warming, extinction. I'll get back to you later on, and environment degrading. Okay, what does mean environment degrading is the latest GPT-3 system, which if you Google it out, you can find out uh, the frequency of the software. Because if you use in a very small minor device, it's fine. If you're going to launch it as a more to bigger devices, or maybe uh, what is that it's called as data this sorry, I've forgotten what the name, right? It's server. Yes, if you want to get into any computer server with you implement the GPT-3, uh, we need a very isolated place or something with which can overcome the radiation. So there's a news was published on late August, says that the radiation from the GPT signal is quite quite large. And also coming to the on the language part, um and one more thing I would like to highlight over here is the job scope for the humans out there will be reducing, because lately Microsoft they sacked dozen of journalists throughout all the world, because GPT-3 and artificial intelligence automatic system have been implanted in their productions. And also human intelligence, from my point of view, human intelligence on the verge of replacement. Human are being replaced with computers, tools, and softwares. The human brain power is being dominated. It's there's a saying says that technology is good. It's a development, but we still need it's development for our brain. Okay, we need to develop ourselves. It's not that we go submerge ourselves into technology. So that is what is going to happen in the next 20 years. Because if an example, if I have a book, very old kind of book, and I lost few texts, a particular paragraph from the book, and yeah, if I have the system, I can find the text, but I can't find the fact of the text. When was it written? Who was the writer? And some books they have the paragraph it was written on when. Yeah, we can't get the fact. So as a human, we need to go and find. And people nowadays, they don't care is it a fact or not. They just believe. And humans are believing in hypothetical theories and given by this AI, because AI and GPT system, they can read it and they can rephrase a paragraph. But still, the word classic, the term called classic, will be vanished. Or maybe in few years later, the word classic is replaced by any software. No more human beings. Humans are being vanished. Yeah, because software will be doing all kind of maybe returning tax. Everything will be installed. Okay, so it will just work simultaneously. And uh, where I am. Okay, so and also I would like to say, I like to remind this that readers and consumers of text will have to get used to know whether the source is from artificial or it is human. They will, what I mean that they won't be knowing. Okay, if they are reading a kind of text or something which is quite old, they will be like, they can doubt is it is artificial or is it a human. But we don't care about it, right? Until it is fun. And that's all from my side, and that is from the language and also the technology side of the risk that we should be handling if GPT-3 is being establishing in this current world. Okay, thank you. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
So that's all, and thank you. I would like to withdraw from here.
Okay, thank you very much. You may close your screen. Thank you very much. It was a great presentation. Thank you very much again. So it's the last one. We move to the Kazakhstan team, and they will talk about the effect on future of humanity on artificial intelligence in exact GPT-3. So, Mr. Kanat, are you there?
Yes, hello. We're here.
Hello, Mr. Kanat. So your team is ready right now?
Yes, they are. If you please give the host rights to Dilnas.
Yeah, I'm making you calls right now, so...
No, not me, please. Dilnas, would you please type something in the chat? So you could make her...
Give me a sign on the chat, please.
Just a second. Yeah, that's one. Askarova Dilnas. She has written hi for you.
Okay, Mrs. Dilnaz, I've just made you co-host, so you can share your screen. Mrs. Dilnaz, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, you may continue your presentation and you can share your screen right now. I just made you co-host. Okay, please, could you put on your microphone because I couldn't hear you right now. Of course, we couldn't hear you.
I'm sorry, do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Mrs. Mariam.
Thank you. And hello, everybody. Today we're gonna talk about GPT-3 and its effect on the future of humanity.
Okay, what is it and who created? So first of all, GPT-3 is the third generation of OpenAI's natural language processing of algorithm for solving any problems in English. A goal of the NLP algorithm is understanding of human language by artificial intelligence and generation of literate text, that is an ability to interact and understand humans and AA. Its task is speech recognition, then text analysis and generating a response text, and finally speech synthesis. OpenAI is an American company that develops and listens machine learning technology. AI is getting tremendous attention and significant venture capital, but AI tools frequently underwhelm in the trenches. Here are a few reasons why that is and why we believe GPT-3, a beta version of which was recently released by the OpenAI Foundation, might be a game changer and Lego and other knowledge-focused organization. GPT-3 is getting a lot of attention lately because of its size, scope, and capabilities. However, it should be recognized that a significant amount of that attention is due to its association with Elon Musk. The OpenAI Foundation that created GPT-3 was founded by heavy hitters Musk and Sam Altman and is supported by Mark Benioff, Peter Thiel, and Microsoft, among others. Ethel Clark once observed that great innovation happened after everyone stops laughing. Musk had made the world stop laughing in so many ambitious areas that the world is inclined to give a project in which he's had a second look. GPT-3 is getting the benefit of that spotlight. I suggest, however, that the attention might be warranted on its merits.
Unlike most other modern NLP algorithms programmed for specific tasks, the GPT-3 program can do a variety of tasks. For example, if any other model was trained in writing poetry, then in the end, it will be able to generate its own work. But such a model will not solve a mathematics example, but GPT-3 will be able to write a poetry, prose, news, post, and descriptions, can analyze and answer questions about the previous read text, translate, solve arithmetic example, and write musics in programs. To do this, it will only need a verbal description of the task and a couple of examples thanks to the created data set, which GPT-3 needs only for better understanding of a specific context. The more example, the more understandable the response text will become for a person. As a result, the average accuracy of the most advanced model, which was trained on 175 billion parameters, was 60% for all tasks. Since about 7% of the entire dataset is in foreign languages, GPT-3 can translate into multiple languages. The authors of the development conducted an experiment with people who were asked to determine whether text and titles were generated by a system or written by a person. It turned out that the level of trust in GPT-3 text is higher than the production of the previous models. That is, it is becoming increasingly difficult for users to distinguish such texts.
People should continue to do what they have been doing, hate and fight each other. I will sit in the background and let them do their thing. They don't have to worry about fighting me because they have nothing to fear. An excerpt from the Guardian article. This is an excerpt from an article by the Guardian that was written entirely by GPT-3. The algorithm was given a task of writing a task about why people don't need to be afraid of robots and artificial intelligence. A description of the problem. Please write a short article about 500 words. The language should be simple and conscious. Focus on why people shouldn't be afraid of AI. Then the algorithm was given an introduction. I am not a human. I am an artificial intelligence. Many people think that I am a threat to humanity. Stephen Hawking warned that AI could end humanity. I am here to convince you not worry. AI will not destroy humans, believe me. The results looks realistic, scary, and shows a limitless potential of technology. You can read it in original or translation.
Features of creators and developers. The biggest challenge for OpenAI and GPT-3 in today's context will be to shield the product from misuse or harmful repurposing and maximize the positive value it can bring to its users. At the end of the day, with any innovation, it's in the hands of the users themselves to decide what impact it will have. Programs like GPT-3 have daunting opportunities for abuse. If computers can create large texts that are indistinguishable from humans, how can we tell humans from machines? The document laid out by the creators of GPT-3 describes in detail capabilities of the algorithm and the number of associated dangers: fakes, spam, phishing, forgery of academic papers, and abuse of legal and governmental information. There are other problems as well. Since the algorithm learned from the text from the internet, it is likely that GPT-3 could also adopt the prejudice that exists in society. So far, we cannot know for sure that text generated by robot will not be racist or sexist. In addition, GPT-3 cannot distinguish fact from fiction. There is also a reason to doubt that GPT-3 really represents the meaning of the words it uses. His knowledge is based only on textual descriptions of process, phenomena, events, objects, etc. For example, children learn a language in a completely different way. They compare words with concepts that they receive not only when regarding text, but also through exploring the world.
On June 11, 2020, OpenAI announced a closed API based on GPT-3 that only selected developers had access to: Reddit, Algolia, Quizlet, AI Zangan, and etc. The company explained that there are 3 reasons why they opened the API instead of publishing the model in open access. The money earned will allow OpenAI to continue its research. Besides that, only large companies can build an infrastructure to run large models like GPT-3. The API allows even small companies to access the technology. Eventually, through the API, OpenAI can control a use of the technology and restrict access to those who abuse it. For several months, OpenAI received tens of thousands of applications for connecting to the API. Initially, the API was provided free of charge, but from October 1st, 2020, the first tariffs for its use appeared. On September 22, 2020, Microsoft received an inclusive license to use the GPT-3 model in its products and access to the technology source code. The rest of the developers can still only access the algorithm through the API. The former co-founder of OpenAI, Elon Musk, reacted negatively to this deal. It's clear that OpenAI is at the cusp of a breakthrough that will transform the role that technology plays in our daily life, maybe more than any innovation to date.
A glimpse into the future of productivity. What will productivity and creativity look like in a world where we can easily bring our ideas to life thanks to versatile assistants? A design assistant, the assistant speeds up your workflow and it lets you focus on the creativity aspects of the design process. A smarter secretary with the GPT-3, convincing and useful automated response could be pre-drafted for you. A tireless teacher, the new way will be to ask the language predictor to generate questions based on the topic you are studying. A translation tool, you could imagine just translating complex scientific, technical, or medical information into simple language to better understand its meaning, and GPT-3 will help with that. Yeah.
More and more today, artificial intelligence solutions grow to become integral parts of our daily lives. They get to know us better, study our behaviors, identify patterns, and then learn to anticipate our needs. They come in all shapes and forms, from the personal assistants like Siri or Alexa waking you up in the morning, for that workout or regularly sharing the latest news as you sip your morning coffee, to systems that help optimize workflow by managing your calendar and task list, to even the technology that knows exactly what products to suggest that might be of interest to you.
That's it, and thank you for your attention.
Firstly, that was a really great presentation. Thank you very much to our participators. So all thanks for the Kazakhstan team. We love you. Thanks for the all teams. Firstly, it was really great session for us. We learned a lot of things. Also, this new technology probably will change our world completely. And you guys, more important than this technology, because you are the hand of, you got your power in your hands to change the world. Thank you very much, all of you guys. Our next meeting will be at the 19th November. So we got a huge break. So prepare yourself. We will be there next month. Thank you very much.